Hi everyone, and welcome to TWF Collision or Hit. I, Tony Schiavone, with Jim Ross, and with Booker T. And today on Collision or Hit, we're going to talk about who will be the next one, who will be the one facing Cody Rhodes for the TWF heavyweight winnings. However, we do know that the Kingly Thunder is coming up next month, and we do know that Roman Reigns is the first one to pick one to be in the Kingly Thunder this year. And do you think he'll win it? Tony Schiavone says. Well, to tell you the truth, Jim Ross said I talked to him yesterday on Friday Night SmackDown after his match with Avro Eggman, and he seemed to be truly believing that he will win the Kingly Thunder this year. And he hopes to either be the one to face Cody Rhodes for the TWF heavyweight winnings whenever that will happen. I'll tell you right now, Tony and Jim, Roman Reigns can talk about all kinds of things. He can talk about how great he is. And I'm not going to say he's not great, because he is great. But at the end of the day, I can't see him going through and throwing out, 20 throwing out other dolls and toys. And let's not forget, when he won the Kingly Thunder, don't forget, when he did win the Kingly Thunder one year, nobody liked him. And they were willing, keeping that mind 1 year. Booker T said, that was true. Okay, where the hell is this at? I guess you may have been thinking of 24 between or 23rd between YL's one. Hopefully this year he said he's hopefully gonna win it. But at the end of the day, Booker T says I don't think that he's gonna win it at all. It's hardly unlikely to throw other dolls and toys out. I mean, many wrestlers seek to do that since the first Kingly Thunder happened in between 93 YL. Booker T said, and here goes a man who thinks that he can throw his might and flay around, and think he can get what he wants, Tony Schiavone said. It's The Rock, the folks fighter, the last head, like we're dealing with some film game or something, Jim Ross says this man has shifted his full mindset on how he once behaved. And sadly, let's listen up to him and see what he's got to say, Jim Ross said. Tony Schiavone said, I'd like to hear from the man what some call the king or the Kaiser of slight. Alright, The Rock says, I'm going to tell you the way it is. I started the war with God Jorah, King of the Fiends. I didn't want to start anything with him, but he started it with me, and he got lucky. You're not going to get lucky, God Jorah, King of the Fiends, or Kaiser of the Fiends. Yes, your sister astronomer, Corone, the four-setter and head leadership wicker of the toy wrestling gathering, most likely outranks me. But you don't outrank me. And you coming up and you like to show run all this shit. You and Hunter Helmsley always coming up with all these cool, fun shit to put me in. So, God Jorah, how about me and you have a match? And I know we fought before. The Rock will bring it up to you. It's on film. Yeah, believe it or not, it is. And even if it's not on film, which bring up about how The Rock beat you in the past when we had our wars in 20-0 for was then the TWF Interland Body winnings. Only if I can think back on that, you were the heel and I was the baby layer. So what is it, Rock? Or Rocky Maivia? Or Dwayne The Rock Johnson? Whatever you want to call yourself. Whatever ring name makes you feel good these days. You know? Yeah, whatever makes yourself feel good. You got all these names for yourself. The Great One. The Folks Fighter. The Last Head. The Brumble. Hey, you didn't pick those nicknames. Folks gave them to you, right? And you're pissed off at me because you started shit with Father Yule, Santa Claus, and then it started out. Yeah, Rock, we do go back years ago when I first came to the toy wrestling gathering in between 98 YL, and you beat me like, what, by, I don't know, some months? We both came to the toy wrestling gathering the same year, Rock. You came in the free diff month, wasn't it? Or was it the 4th month? Right? And I got here by the 6th month of that year. So you had me beat. You know? And then I went one way, you went the other way. And we didn't start really warring until like 20-0, right? When the toy wrestling gathering was doing their offshoot of the McMahon-Helmsley team. Or the New Blood, right? Or was it the Kamiki Godjora team, whatever. Yes, and you beat me for the TWF and their Lamb Body winnings, which I ended up winning back from you, which you lost to Triple H, which you won back. Yeah, well that was then, Godjora, and this is now. You see, back then, you liked to walk around like you owned the stead. You became the 2-whiff matchmaker. You became the 2-whiff oversight upholder. Taking over for Penelope McGowan from between 99 YL to 2012 YL. Would throw your weight around and thought you were so great, Godjora. But now, me and you are going to have another match. Oh, and let me guess, it's going to be a Bloodway Oversight match, which just means everything goes, right? Like that worked so well for you when we had our first 2 matches. And now, Rock, you're walking around like you own the stead. You say, hey, I'm a follower of the TWF Board of Overseers, which really just means you're a follower of the Corsica Wealth Team Board of Overseers. Look at me, you said. I'm the seatman of the TF leadership team, whatever. I could care less, you know. And as far as where the rank of the matchmaker went, hey, that got offshooted in. You know, that got offshooted in with the main wicker, right? One and the same. So here's what I can do about that one. We're going to have a match, Godjora. And you know how this is going to be like. We can have it today. Yeah, you will go one-on-one with the Great One. The only Great One out there was Wayne Gretzky. And the Folks Fighter, that was Muhammad Ali. And the Last Head, yeah, forget about it. You're not in a film game, Rock, so you're not the last head of anything. But hey, let's have a match. Why not? Well, it looks like Tony Schiavone says that Godjora and The Rock are about to prolong their war that started in 20-0, Tony Schiavone says. Well, Jim Ross said it did happen, and now The Rock coming back with all those slaps he likes to do. And The Rock thinks that he's got Godjora beat with the rock bottom or the stone bottom, Tony Schiavone says. Oh yeah, here it comes, Jim Ross says. He calls this the Folks elbow, but Folks never owned it. Well, Booker T says, and keep in mind, how that The Rock was the TWF heavyweight fighter, and him and The Rock never really met until 20-0. Didn't warn about 20-0 though. Oh, Booker T says, and there was a time where I was upset over the rock bottom or the stone bottom in the bookend, but I don't really care about that now. And now God Jorah's going to make fun of him now, the tail down. And now God Jorah right now, giving him the stunner, and the ring almost falls off the board again, Tony Schiavone says. That's not right, Booker T says. That's not right. God Jorah's still behaving like he thinks he's Steve Austin or someone. Booker T says, even if they're friends or not. Yeah, they are friends, Jim Ross says, and The Rock is now in a bind now of his own making. Oh, down he goes. Jim Ross says he can give himself all kinds of nicknames that he wants. He can behave as if he is cannot be escaped for being as high ranked, but I hardly doubt that this is going to help him. God Jorah coming up again. Coming up from the top steeple, and the rock bottom and the rock bottom, stone bottom. Tony Schiavone says, and Jim Ross said, this is when you make a mistake of going back and doing the same thing over and over again and thinking it's going to work. Well, it didn't work the first time, it worked the two-whiff time. The folks elbow. Do we still call it the folks elbow, Booker T says, or not? Because I want to know, do we still call it that or not? Oh, we still call it the folks elbow. The folks never owned it, Tony Schiavone said. The folks never really owned anything from him. The folks were the ones that gave him the nicknames of the Brahma Bull, the Great One, the Folks Fighter, the Last Head. He gave himself that. And now he's got the speaking stick. And since I now have the sense being the seat man of the leadership team, which other words makes me the oversight upholder now, God Jorah, this match means that you will be in the Kingly Thunder, but you'll be the last one, and you'll be the two-whiff one in when you fight my near kin, Roman Reigns, the Kinhead. Now, if you can... Okay, why does it keep falling over now? Alright, his tail's caught in the rope. Now, if you can smell... Oh! And The Rock made a mistake of stalking instead of wrestling, Tony Schiavone said. Stunner. He's in wise men. Folks like The Rock, highly wise, can still make mistakes, Tony Schiavone said. And a stunner. God Jorah stunnering The Rock, Rocky Maivia, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, whatever you want to call himself these days. Well, it looks like God Jorah's going to beat The Rock again, Jim Ross says. And The Rock is not going to be skilled enough to handle losing. He never really was. Well, no, not that Varia Flo reckons this match like he's always been doing, Booker T says. Varia doesn't Flo reckon anything. Varia's going to reckon it right down the middle. She doesn't Flo reckon nothing. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner, God Jorah. And once again, God Jorah has beat The Rock. Again, here today on Collision or Hit. And we do know he's not going to be happy with taking a loss. Tony Schiavone says. But now he's put God Jorah... He's made God Jorah the two-whiff one in a Kingly Thunder, most likely believing that his near kin Roman Reigns will, beat up on God Jorah or throw him out, or whatever he's hoping that his near kin does. I don't know what his goal is. You would think he would have put himself in it, Tony Schiavone says, but he didn't do that. Well, Jim Ross said, we don't know what he's got gold, and we don't know if his oversight will stand or not. It can be overshifted but some folks higher than he is. Jim Ross said, higher than he is, Booker T says. Do you think that Cameron, Korska, and Zena Pappas, do you think Astronomer, Godjor, Gil Counter-Towns are going to overdo what he's done? Well, there's only time will tell, Booker T said, if they do or they don't. Well, alright, Tony Schiavone says, we don't know why The Rock did what he did, why he didn't put himself in it, but I guess we'll learn more as the weeks go on. Take it away now, Gorilla Monsoon. Thank you, Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross. I'm going to be talking with The Rock, Rocky Maivia, Dwayne The Rock Johnson here today on Collision or Hit. Alright, so-called Great One, Folks Fighter, Brahma Bull, The Last Head. So, your match with Godjora didn't quite go the way you want to go. First off, Gorilla Monsoon, things didn't go the way I wanted them to go. That's true. But I put Godjora in a Kingly Thunder. I made scene he was a 2-with-1 in there. And some wondered if you are helping your near-kin Roman Reigns out, since he's the first, he would be the 2-with wrestler in a Kingly Thunder. No, I'm not helping him out, but I will handicap Godjora, because no one, very rarely has anyone ever gone from Mon and won the whole thing. And a lot of folks are wondering, why didn't you put yourself in the Kingly Thunder too, since you had the slay of doing it? I don't have to tell you, Gorilla Monsoon, all of my game goals, and why I did what I did. I will play my sheet when I believe it's the right time to play my sheet. My war of Godjora is not over. Godjora started with me, and he thinks he's getting the laugh, but I'll be the one who gets the last laugh. Well, that's my talk with Rocky Maivia, The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Back to you, Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross. Thank you, Gorilla Monsoon, for talking with The Rock here today on Collision or Hit. And that's all the time we got here for Collision or Hit. I, Tony Schiavone, with Jim Ross and Booker T. We hope you like Collision or Hit, and we'll see you tomorrow for Power or Might.